Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
A British family who were lost at sea for 38 days surviving only on shark meat and turtle blood made a chilling vow not to eat each other. Over 50 years ago, the Robertson family opted to ditch Staffordshire to voyage the world. Ex-naval Captain Dougal and his wife Lynn, a former nurse, packed up their bags with 18-year-old son Douglas, twin boys Neil and Sandy, 9, and daughter Anne, 17, in 1971. The couple sold a dairy farm they ran near Market Town Leak, and used the money to fork out on a 43-foot schooner ship named Lucette. But across the Pacific Ocean the Robertsons were struck by a pack of killer whales and shipwrecked at sea, leading them somewhere off the Caribbean. They were so desperate when their ship sunk that they drank turtle blood when they struggled to catch rainwater. Before they were eventually whisked away to safety by the Japanese, they made pledges to each other that they wouldn't eat each other under any circumstance. On January 27, they left from Falmouth, Cornwall, and ended up stopping at many ports in the Caribbean. Over the next year and a half the family traveled across the Atlantic, enjoying time in Jamaica and Panama. Seasoned sailors, Dougal met Lynn when they were both sailing at the Aberdeen Boat Club in Hong Kong years earlier. Son Douglas, who is now in his late 60s, told the BBC, "Father's planning for this journey was zero. We didn't even have a practice sail around the bay before setting off around the world." He spoke of his dad wanting to teach his kids about the University of Life while voyaging the ocean. However, while sailing across the Pacific Ocean, their wooden schooner was hit by a pod of killer whales near the Galapagos Islands, 17 months into their journey. Douglas said, "The whole boat shook and the keel must have cracked. There was a splintering noise of wood cracking, if you can imagine the sound of a tree trunk being snapped in two." He said he heard a huge splash and noticed 3 killer whales tailing the boat. The panicked teen feared he was going to be eaten alive, although wild orcas are not usually dangerous. The Robertsons, alongside a student hitchhiker they'd picked up, launched an inflatable life raft and a dinghy. Douglas said he had to blow up the 10-man raft himself after the bellows broke. Dad Dougal had planned on sailing the raft to the Pacific Ocean Center and safely catch the counter-current back to the U.S. All they had on them was cans of water and rations, like fruit and biscuits, which sustained them for 6 days. But when this ran out, they had to catch rainwater in containers to stay hydrated and hunt turtles and fish for food. Douglas explained, "Turtle was the mainstay of our diet. We drank its blood when we had no water, we dried its meat and rationed it and stored it up. We rendered the fat down in the sun to make oil which we rubbed on our skin and drank to keep us warm." Their raft became unfit for purpose after 16 days of rift, forcing the family of 5 and the hitchhiker to cramp into a 10-feet-long dinghy called the Edna Mare. They took turns sitting on the dry part of the boat. On July 23, 1972, which marked 38 days of the Robertsons using the small dinghy, a Japanese fishing vessel spotted their distress flare and rescued them. The family donated the Edna Mare to the National Maritime Museum in Falmouth, where they first set off. They returned to their home in the Peak District, but Dougal's and Linda's marriage was soon on the rocks. They divorced a year later. "Guilt consumed the couple," Douglas said. "Mom and Dad never forgave themselves for what they did to the family. They felt they'd been negligent in putting us at such risk." Dougal wrote a bestseller on the infamous shipwreck, named Survive the Savage Sea, and ended up living in Greece on a new yacht. Son Robin worked in finance, and Douglas had joined the Merchant Navy before becoming an accountant, and the twin boys struggled to adjust to school following the traumatic shipwreck.